Welcome. We're engaged in a protracted discussion through Ecclesiastes as it brings to us a very evocative, problematic, deep discussion on philosophical wisdom. We can't ignore it. It's in the Word of God. We have to engage with it. We've got to learn from it. It's helping us to think clearly and accurately and deliberately about how we approach our lives. We're in Ecclesiastes 1. We're in verse 5. The sun rises and the sun sets and hurries back to where it rises. Remember when the Psalms talked about the sun rising and the sun setting? From the rising of the sun to the going down of the same, the name of the Lord is to be praised. There's no urgency there. It's creative, it's fulfilling. It seems as though we have all day long to bask in the tranquility of adoration. And then there's Lamentations that tells us God's blessings are new every morning. Such positive perspectives are absent in Ecclesiastes. Here, each new day serves to remind us that time is against us. Time is not on your side. That's what Ecclesiastes is saying. Everything in life today is rush, 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 quick, 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 more, bigger, higher, faster. Even before cell phones and email addresses, before Google and Facebook and Twitter, the pace was demanding. But the acceleration keeps accelerating. The speed of our digital devices now sets the pace and increasingly runs our lives. If you have any doubt, try holding the attention of a 12-year-old with a smartphone in their hand. Speed is the source of stimulation and fleeting pleasure. But the faster we move, the less we feel. Which of course is a primary reason why we are moving so fast, because most of us are more worried and uncertain and insecure than we dare acknowledge, even to ourselves. Moving fast keeps those discomforting feelings at bay, and so we deify doing. No rest for the weary. Really? Isn't rest precisely what the weary ought to be doing? We're all wired up, but we're melting down. We're dancing as fast as we can. We're materially wealthy, but time poor. We're impatient if the internet doesn't come up fast enough. We're rushing from one appointment to the next. We want to get more done faster, but we need to recognize how costly that is. Speed is the enemy of depth, of nuance, of subtlety, of attention to detail, of reflection, of learning, of rich relationships and contemplation. In short, speed is the enemy of everything that makes life worth living. It is impossible to find meaning in life when you're living it in the fast lane. The scenery that makes your journey worthwhile just rushes past before you have time to even notice it. So if you want to have a meaningful life, and Ecclesiastes is so adamant that life under the sun is meaningless, so how can we address that? We need to bring about some meaning into our life. So if you are going to have a meaningful life, then you have to take time to seek it. Meaning is the route to depth, enduring satisfaction, and it's the avenue also to excellence. How would you feel if you knew the surgeon operating on your heart was racing through his surgery with one eye on his social media accounts? Wouldn't you rather him to be thorough than fast? Just so, we need to enter into and engage with a meaningful life. You can ascertain the value that you hold in anything by the level of attention that you give it, by the time that you give it. Maximize your attention towards those things you value the most, your relationships with God, and with your wife or with your husband, with your children, your church, your friends. Invest in them and you will receive a rich, meaningful life. And if you don't attend to them, then you'll lose them. And then you'll wonder why, and you'll wonder what's the point to it all. If you take your relationship with God for granted, don't be surprised if you begin to wonder after a while if God is really there at all. Contemplate the life of Mary and Martha. I do this regularly, thinking about Mary sitting at the feet of Jesus and Martha, busy Martha. And Martha wanting Mary to be just like her. And Jesus said, Mary has chosen the best part, and it will not be taken from her. In other words, if you invest in a meaningful relationship with God, then you've got something that can't be taken from you. Nobody and nothing can take that away from you. Yeah, so think about it. Take your time. Don't allow time to take over you. God bless you. We'll see you again tomorrow for some more wisdom from the book of Ecclesiastes.